Hi everyone, this is Diane. Today is the last day of 2025 and I am going to finish embellishing the pages in this journal that I've been working in for this year. I have not selected a journal, well not just this year, I started this in September. I haven't selected a journal that I'm going to start with tomorrow, but I better pick it today. I had thought that I would use this throughout the month of January, but I won't complete January in this. There's not that many pages left, and I decided I want a brand new fresh journal for the first day of a new year. So I'm going to start a new one tomorrow. But I have to finish decorating these pages, and I'm going to work on that with you while I kind of just talk about the past year and maybe some plans for next year. I don't know. We'll just wing it. Before I get into that though, I want to show you this book, which was not a Christmas gift, but it was given to me by my sister, who is the seamstress. And she bought this for herself and thought she was going to use it. And she had written on a few pages, but not very many. And then she decided she doesn't want it anymore. I don't know when she bought it, but she gave it to me, and it is gorgeous. Let me just show you. It's probably from Hobby Lobby. They sell a lot of Simplicity branded items like this, and it's got the disc binding. There are stickers in the front. Today I choose to sew. Fabric shopping day. I wish. Very hard to have a fabric shopping day when you don't have fabric stores anymore. So those stickers, and then these, like lots of stickers. I could use these for lots of things. Even in my planner if I wanted to. There are some little card or photo pages. There's 3 of those, and then 1 zipper pouch. And then we have our pages. There are different categories, and then there's a beautiful image at the beginning of each category. This is the title page. This sewing planner belongs to. And then the first category is reference. There's a glossary, which could come in handy for sewing terms and about fabrics and fibers. That would be interesting to read. Projects, and then the pages. Looks like that quote is on maybe all the pages in this section. Let me see. I guess because it's the project section, it has beautiful things come together one stitch at a time. And then the project description, the date, the pattern, supplies and tools, alterations and notes to do, and swatches. That's fun. And then the graph paper. And there is a mannequin lady there with, you can write measurements down. They're numbered here, and then you write in the measurement. Patterns I own, and then it starts again. So that is projects. This says swatches. Look at that pretty picture. So this would be fun to use in a journal. Add some fabric swatches to that. And a calendar. So the calendar starts with the monthly tabs. Winter was made for lots of patterns and fabric to sew. So this has the month's goals. So I could actually use this for doing my planning of making journals. I might use this. I'd have to write in pencil because I change plans so often. It has a space for birthdays in case you're making projects for birthdays, holidays, and events, and a place to notate your purchases and good finds. So that's fun. And then this is where my sister was writing in her plans for the day and working on a doll she was making for her granddaughter. 23-inch doll. She filled in these date numbers, but I think the rest of them are blank. February, we won't look at every single page, but I'm curious about. So again, it's the same type of things. And then She filled in these dates also. It must have been a leap year. But she didn't fill in these dates. You never know what you have until you clean your craft room. Isn't that the truth? Rainy days are for sewing. Sewing forever, housework whenever. Sometimes a girl just gotta sew. It's never too hot to sew cool things. This is the July page. It's time for a tiny summer project. An itsy bitsy teeny weeny one, apparently. Happiness is a full bobbin. Best dressed girls, best dressed girlfriends forever. To sew or not to sew? What a silly question. I love that. And so elegant for December. So there's lots of fun pages in there. And then the note pages, I think there's a note page at the back of each calendar section with a different image. So a lot of fun in this book. I can't believe she just gave it to me. I mean, she wouldn't have made me pay for it, but I can't believe she wanted to give it away. So there we go. There's that. Now, I did pull out my pouch of children's book images because it's so full. Figured I might as well use some to finish filling up this book. And I also have some smaller pieces here because sometimes I want a smaller accent. I just pulled out this envelope of digital small labels and words and stuff, and then these are words, quotes, sentences taken from books and magazines. I don't even know what's in there. But I went to breakfast with my friend Debbie yesterday. She got tea, and I saw this laying on the table, so I put it in my purse, and we exchanged gifts, and the gift she gave me was wrapped in this beautiful nutcracker paper, so I thought I would cut some of these images out and put them in my book. So I don't have a whole lot left to do in here. It's less than half a signature, but I ended writing here, so I think I'd like to put something there just to fill in some space. Just need a small children's image. These are all big. I did get my pouches. I showed them in my haul video, the plastic pouches, and so I'm excited to have a chance to replace some of these broken pouches that I have. I don't think I'll be doing it today. I hope not, because what I like to do before the first of the year is have some hours or as much of a day as I can grab, where I can pray and think, plan, and set goals. I want to use her in here, but it won't fit on that page. How about this one? I think this one, I can make it work. We're going to make it work. So I had Layla spend the night last night, and she got up late, and I made pancakes for her, and I just had her mother come and get her just a few minutes ago. Like, we had breakfast at, I don't know, 10 o'clock. But I was busy kind of tidying up. I can relax and plan and dream better when my house is tidy. So at least the main floor, I tidied that up, got the dishes washed. And I had a couple other things on my list to do, like making a video by doing this. And I have some packages that I packed yesterday that need to go out today. So I'll walk to the post office. And then I will hopefully sit down with my planner and write down my goals and dreams. Goals and plans. I don't want to say goals and dreams. Goals and plans for 2026. Can you believe 2026? Yeah, he fits. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing today. My daughter bought me, I don't know if you've heard of Comfort Sweats, Comfort Clothing. It's COMFRT. They took the second O out, and that's the brand. And they're thick and oversized, and they have something special that makes them kind of heavier. Like she said, they're slightly weighted, because some people like the weighted blankets and stuff that are supposed to relieve anxiety. So I guess they're supposed to be weighted. It's not like they're filled with anything, but that's what she told me. And she has some, and I thought hers looked so comfy, so she bought me some for Christmas. So that's what I'm going to do. I told her, I tried wearing them one day when I knew I wasn't going anywhere, but I had stuff to do around the house. I think I'll just cut the grass separate from her. I do want the grass in the picture. What was I saying? Oh, I knew I wasn't going anywhere, but I had stuff to do around the house, and I decided that they're too bulky for that. I didn't feel comfortable moving around. I mean, I was comfortable. They weren't like uncomfortable, but it was just too bulky for doing things I had to do. So I told my daughter that this outfit, and it's pink. It's like my favorite shade of pink, the pants and the top. What I'm going to use them for is a day that I want to take, or an amount of time, like if I'm done working and I have so many hours that I'm going to read or just relax. I'm going to put those on. Or if I want to take a day off, I have a hard time just taking a day off without working on something. So if I put those on, that is my signal that I'm off. It's my time off. And I'm hoping that will help me to actually relax and not think about other things I have to do. So that's what I'm hoping to do today. Take a shower and get into those pink sweats, comfort sweats, and do my planning. I've got magazines that I want to relax with. The ones I bought myself for Christmas, like Somerset Studio, and what was the other one? I don't remember right off the bat. But I've got those. Oh, it was a Bella Grace. I've got those, and I've got several Bella Graces from years past that I haven't really fully read. I have a book of lists from them that I want to actually start writing in. So I have, I always have big plans, high hopes for when I've got time off. And my brother's coming out to take my dad to his cardiac rehab today. So anything my parents need, he'll take care of. So I don't have to worry about that. But I always have high hopes and high expectations. And I don't know. I usually I get started on planning and then I get distracted and who knows. But I'm really going to attempt to stick to what I want to do today. Does that make sense? So I did make a list of the things to accomplish before I actually put those pink sweatpants on. And then when I put them on, I'm done for the day. So what are my goals going to be for 2026? Well, I don't need to talk about personal goals, but what about my goals for the shop, for my business? I have been selling less at the last half of the year, pretty sure, because I've been so busy with other things, like my parents need more care. And there's another page I need to add something to. Let's put her on here. As far as my shop goes, as I said, I've been selling less, creating fewer journals, I think. I still create a lot, but not at the rate I had been. And I just haven't had a lot of time for listing things in the shop. But I've been destashing, as you know, and I still have to finish this room. I'm pretty much done with this big section, I think, but I have to do the nook. There's probably a little bit more to do in this section. But anyway, and that means I'm destashing, and I'll have to add stuff to my pile of things to put in my shop. So I have to take into consideration the fact that my parents are not going to be requiring less time, in fact, probably more, as I go into the new year. My dad is just getting weaker, and it's very hard for him to do much of anything. And it's so discouraging for him, and it's sad for us. And it's hard on my mother, because she has to do for him, and she's 90. So it wears her out too. So we help her as much as we can. We're there often. If it's not me, it's somebody else. But anyway, I can't expect to increase production. But so I have to be realistic in my expectations. But I want to be consistent. So I'm thinking I might do videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or not just make them, but publish them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, instead of trying to get something up every day. And I think that's good enough, just that simple little collage. But I want to be consistent with working on journals. I have so many to make, and I don't want to feel like I've got to make it. I want it to be enjoyable so that I produce good quality product. And I think you can tell the difference between something that you're just throwing together and something that you put your heart into. I can put my heart into something that doesn't require as much effort. So when I say I'm making it simple, it doesn't mean my heart's not in it. It just means I can scale back on the homemade ephemera or the techniques or whatever, but I can still make it meaningful. So that's my goal, to keep up the quality and the heart that I put into my work, and still produce as much as I can in the time that I have. And well, my top main goal at the top of the list for as far as my quote-unquote job will be to finish up this organization project. And I'm sure there will be fine-tuning. I think there will always be fine-tuning, so I can't ever say that it's done. But finish up every drawer, shelf, basket, whatever I have around here, and get it organized and labeled. And then my goal after that will be to keep it organized and labeled. So if I decide to change things around, go ahead and do it. Make sure you change the labels, get everything labeled properly, so you know where to find things. Or I know where to find things. My goal is to finish getting this studio the way I want it after living here for 6 months, and maintain it. I've got this play money in here that I didn't even write on, but It's cute. I wanted to tuck something in that paper doll dress. So I skipped some where I could have written here and I could have written on this money, but because I'm not going to fill up every page, I just skipped those and went on to this page. And I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to get to the end. I can put something here. Is this glaring? I didn't think about that. I'm sorry. But I'll have other goals to set too. I have categories, so my personal life, including my health, fitness and health, my spiritual life, my family. That includes my children, grandchildren, siblings, parents, and home. I have goals for here. So like I said, I moved in 6 months ago and I've been settling in, and then we went to Disney for 10 days or we went to Florida for 10 days, Disney for 5, and then the holidays. So I still need to buy things like if I want to replace some curtains, or if I want to, there's lots of space on walls that I need to fill up. So I'll have pictures and wall decorations to buy. Well, instead of trying to look for something skinny that will fit here, in this pouch here, I'm going to get some strips. I have this little plastic envelope of strips. So that'll be fun to kind of make a list or take pictures of places in my house that need something on the wall, and you know, write down the measurements so I can shop wisely. And then when I go out shopping, I'll have a list of things I can look for. I need to have a mirror downstairs. I don't have a mirror downstairs, so like in my main floor or down here. So if I want to leave the house, I either have to go upstairs to check the mirror or just say, whatever I look like, they're going to have to deal with it. I want to get a pretty mirror to put at the bottom of the stairs. Now, I have these goat stickers because my granddaughter likes goats because of my daughter. She started a goat thing with Layla, so now Layla is really into goats. So she made these stickers for me. She was making stickers at school, and she made these for me. And when she was here spending the night last night, we played a goat game that Judy bought for her. So I wrote about that. We played her rolling goat game. It's like the goat are the dice, and you have to throw them and see what position they land in, and you get certain points for different positions. But they always landed on their side in the fainting goat position. But anyway, we were laughing about it. So I wrote about it, and then I found these stickers. I need to put these in. And I don't know if I want to put Debbie's tea bag on this page or not. I kind of don't want to take away too much from this cute puppy. I could put the tea bag and maybe the nutcrackers here. I don't know. Let me see, maybe I can put a quote or something on these pages. Definitions of things we junk journalers use. Bibliophile, a lover of books. kind heart is a fountain of gladness, making everything in its vicinity freshen into smiles. These are Mrs. Cogg's words about friendship, I think. Oh, well, I can use one of these for wherever I put these, because those are from my friend Debbie. Kindred of spirit is all that matters. We always say that we're kindred spirits. We said that in the days when we worked together at the nursing home where we met. And our children were young back then. I was in my 20s when I started working at that nursing home. All right, so those will go on this page. And what did I do with the scripture one? Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. I'm going to put this on a piece of colored paper so it'll show up better. Not too dark. I have this, it's a birthday card or a Christmas card or something. It's some kind of old greeting card. And I think that's just right. So I'm just going to tack it down. Get out of here. On the corners, I think. Anything like this that I think would be good for this kind of a thing, or to put on the backs of images so you can turn them into journaling cards. I keep some of them on the little rack that's to my right. It's very handy. I sometimes put fly leaves out of books that I take apart there, because they're usually a nice sturdy paper, but they're not as heavy as cardstock, and they come in a variety of colors. And I'll just kind of, I'm not going to cut these out very closely, but I was going to say I want one of each figure, but there's a lot of figures. Looks like there's 5 different ones. And I don't know where my better little scissors are. I've been moving things around and got to straighten up in here. I spent a couple of days doing listings and packing because I didn't have a lot of time. So I spent quite a bit of time with listing on one day, and then yesterday I got them packed, but in a small amount of time because I had Layla here. I went out to breakfast with Debbie, and then I had picked Layla up before I came home. So I just didn't have time to craft. But while she was here, I did get those orders packed. So I haven't been working on the paper doll journals. I just wanted to share with you what I would be starting. I'll fast forward the cutting of any of the rest of these. Okay, I got my figures cut out. I'm going to add a couple to this page, put some over here, and I'll put a little note inside the tea bag envelope of what this is all about. But let me tell you, as I'm doing this, that I want to thank you so much, all of you who have watched videos. Even if this is the first video you've watched, thank you and welcome, and please join my channel. I appreciate every single one of you. I really appreciate it when you leave comments. That helps my, well, I like to hear from you, for one thing. That's the main thing. But it also helps my algorithm, so my videos get recommended to other people. Share my video with your friends if you can do that. There's a new thing called Boost. Is it called Boost? I don't know. There's a button that pops up on some videos that you can press, and it boosts the video. And it doesn't cost anything to do that. So if you see that on a video that you like, go ahead and hit that. What else? Oh, those of you who have supported my shop, I truly appreciate that more than you know. All of my journals that I've listed this year have sold. Most of them sell on the first day. Not all, but most. And they do sell eventually if they didn't sell on the first day. And that is very encouraging to me and makes me want to keep making journals. And I just appreciate your wonderful comments about my videos and my journals that I create. And even the items that I offer in my shop. I get lots of nice comments about that too. Because I find so many great vintage things at the flea markets. I will continue to go to the flea market, but I'll be more cautious about what I bring home. I don't want to spend so much time listing things in my shop. So, as I've tried to do before, I'm going to say it again. I will buy things that I want to use and then put excess in my shop, and not just pick something up for the sake of putting it in my shop. Does that make sense? Because that takes a lot of time to do. My main focus is making journals. And I may sell ephemera packs too, like handmade ephemera. So if I make tags, pockets, journal cards, embellishments, I'd like to, that's being creative, and I would like to sell those kinds of things. Actually, this was supposed to go on this page, because Debbie is my kindred spirit, one of my kindred spirits. I have a lot of kindred spirit friends. All right, now I have to just finish up. I can leave this just as it is. I like the pretty colors on this map, and I added these digital milk bottle labels there, or caps there. So I can just have fun and fill in. I do have to write today, so I'll use this for today's writing, or maybe here, or write on that. And I'll just embellish everything else. I don't know if I'll be able to include it all in this video. Might be too long, but I want to get it done today. I like this picture. We have been having super windy days. Yesterday, wow. I thought it was going to blow the windows in. So I can write about that here. Okay, I pulled out a few quotes that I like from there that I'll probably add into my new journal that I start. If I have time, I will choose my new journal and tack it. I'll show it to you and tack it on to the end of this video, if there's time. But I found this quote from a magazine. It says strength and energy, and that's obviously being shown here. The wind has strength and energy, but it can represent strength and energy that I need for this stage of my life. I'm still active, trying to do things, still spending time with grandkids and taking care of my elderly parents. And I need strength and energy. This I will just leave as it is and journal on this page. This one needs something fun. Let me show you some of these that I picked out to go into my new journal. Home is the nicest word there is. I am a homebody. It's all personal. Details, glorious details. Who is in my little house? I'm going to add that into my the journal that I made with about houses. Rather do than dream. And I love this. I will shine, Father, a sunbeam, you know. And so I want to tell God that I will shine. I will be a sunbeam for him. Now, she would be a cute figure to add here. I don't think I want to add anything to this page because I just like those embellishments, the milk and the milk bottle cap. I don't know if I'll write anything on there, but it's there if I want to. And I can leave this page as it is because I like it. And I've got these nice pieces inside that are just going to go to waste, but they're in there because I like them. It's hard to not finish a journal. I think I'm just going to say we're good here. I don't need to fill every space in. So I'm done with this journal, except, let's see. I think I'll put a couple of these kids on here. And I can use this card that's in my back pocket there to kind of summarize the year, maybe. It's been a rough one in some ways and a great one in some ways. I guess that's probably true of every year. Sometimes the harder days outweigh the good days, and sometimes it's the other way around. So I'm going to go pick out another journal, and I'll be right back. All right, I went to my shelves and this one stood out to me, so I'm going to do something grungy next. I don't remember the shop I got this from, but I will try to find it and link it below. It was a good price. I remember it was not too expensive, and it's very unique and interesting. It's very interesting. So it's got a grungy style to it, and this looks like a metal frame, but it's not really metal. It is 3D though. And there's some embossing or stenciling with, what do you call it? Modeling paste on that. See how interesting it is? There's something to look at everywhere. So I want to be able to add some grungy stuff to this. This is the Anaglypta paper with, she used ink to stencil through that, I believe. And I have Anaglypta newspaper, wallpaper. If you don't know, Anaglypta is this textured wallpaper, and it's white, and you can paint over it whatever color matches your room. I'm not going to flip through the whole thing. I'm just giving you an idea of what this journal is like. Fun, fun, fun stuff. Oh, look at that. It's attached with fabric. That's cool. So this is what I'm going to start in on January 1st. I was thinking that I wouldn't embellish it on video for the next journal, but I don't know. Since it's going to be grungy, do you want to see that? You can let me know what you think. And I will tell you now, Happy New Year. Have a creative and peaceful 2026. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.